So I'm a walker and a talker, if you guys don't mind. So thank you all for having me. My name is Stephen Erbeck, and I'm running for the first congressional district along with these other wonderful candidates. I want to thank George and Restore Liberty, and for all of you guys for coming out to your art of peace tonight. So I was chatting with a few of you tonight before, and I got some dental questions. You may know I'm a dentist, and may be wondering what the heck I'm doing getting into politics. So I'll get there, but I will tell you that I had a patient come in a few weeks ago, and he said to me, "You know, Steve, the way I've got it figured, you're going from the second most disliked profession to the first." And I thanked him for his encouragement, but I said, that's one of the many things I like to fix in Washington. But I'm not just a dentist. I'm also a husband to my wife, Sydney, a father to our daughter, Georgia, who's 1 year old, and a small business owner in this district. I'm a doctor of 5,000 patients across this district. And like many of you, I'm a concerned citizen about the direction that our country's heading. Tonight, I'm going to ask for your support to be the candidate that goes against Drake Lansman this fall in our May 5th primary. But before I do, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself. I grew up on a farm in Warren County, just north of Mason, 120-acre farm. I used to take pigs to the Warren County Fair for nearly 10 years, and I learned a lot of lessons taking hogs. But I come from a dentist, family dentist. My great-grandfather was the first dentist in Mason in 1926. So this year we celebrate 100 years of small business ownership. And we do have some patients, maybe 5 or 10 have seen all 4 generations, George. So our joke is that they've got the teeth, we're doing something right. While dentistry was in my blood, my passion for politics came later. I worked on Capitol Hill as a sophomore at Ohio State University, and this is really where I got my itch for politics. I learned a lot that summer, and I can remember the first day I showed up at 7:30 a.m. I was ready, eager to get started, and I realized no one in Washington starts working until 9 or 10. That's something we ought to change as well. But it was a great experience. And, I stayed involved in policy. I realized I did want to be an attorney, and I went into dentistry. So I went off to dental school. I studied at New York University. And I can tell you, coming from a farm in Warren County, that was an eye-opening experience. You do one of two things, I think, in New York. You either drink the Kool-Aid or you refine your conservative values pretty quickly. Now, while the dental school was an excellent institution with world-class professors, this is 2016, and I saw a waves of difference on the lower campus and the undergraduate department. There was socialists, there was communists. This was when Donald Trump was elected president, and these people are not your grandfather's Democratic Party. They aren't the working class people. We knew that once represented that party. They're socialists, they're communists, and they detest our country. And so it was a very eye-opening experience for me. I stayed involved in policy. I went on to serve as the American Dental Association's Legislative Council to Washington, D.C., where we went every year, including just a few weeks. I'll be back in D.C., advocating on behalf of our organization, our patients on issues ranging from healthcare crises to the opioid issue. This is 2017, 2018. It was a very big issue. And we passed the Support Patients Act of 2018. And we really decreased the time that patients can get opioids, which helped a lot of folks in this community, my community in Warren County, and also in Clinton County. So proud of the work that I did there. But I also moved back home, not just to take over my family business, but also to raise my family in a place that shows my values. I'm a Christian and I'm conservative. And it's very clear that these days our values are on attack. Radical left policies are being pushed harder now than ever before, whether it's socialism, identity politics, disregard for life, for traditional values. It's very clear that the left wants something that doesn't represent what made this country great. And so over the last 9 months or so, I've had the chance to travel the first district. And I'll tell you, listening to voters, I've started to get a sense of what it is that's important to them. I looked at President Trump and his reelection in 2024. He got reelected on a promise to do 3 things. First was close our southern border. Second was reduce the crime in our great American cities. And third, and I think most importantly, it was to address the cost of living issue caused by the rampant inflation of the Biden administration. Let's dig into these 3 issues a little bit. Number 1, close the southern border. How did we get 10 to 15 million illegal immigrants in one administration, and we don't know a single person who came across and what they stand for or what they're about? It was a lack of leadership from Joe Biden. I think it's very important that we look at our legal and illegal immigration systems in this country. You've got an issue with temporary protective status where we had a gentleman who came to this country legally, an Afghan national, who shot 2 National Guardsmen in Washington, D.C. last November. You all will remember that. And at the same time, we have a congressman in Greg Lansman, and it's calling for the abolition of ICE. It's not acceptable. He doesn't represent the values of our community. We need to put Americans first and not folks that have come to this country illegally. Second was crime. I see Corey Bowman over there in the corner, and I worked hard for Corey. I know a lot of you guys did as well. We were very disappointed with that outcome, but one thing Corey, struck a chord about was crime in the city, and that's ongoing today. It's unbelievable that it was nearly an 80-20 split with Mayor Pureball, who we all know is loose on crime in every which way. I had a chance to get on the Hamilton County Courthouse recently with Judge Chris McDowell, and I was standing there when the Found Square shooter walked in. And I'll preface this by saying I'm a Catholic. I go to church every week, and I do believe in forgiveness. This man was a repeat offender. He had no remorse in his soul for what he had done. It's important, as we chatted with some of the folks today about the judges. Congressional races are great. Presidential races are awesome. But the judges in Hamilton County, we have to have strong judges that put away the criminals, that do the crime. And then lastly is that cost of living issue that we all dealt with post-COVID. I'm a business owner. I employ 20 local folks in this economy. I know how the economy works. I create jobs. Greg Lansman's never done that. He's a career politician. You need a small business conservative that understands what it's like. They can balance their books so they can do the same in Washington. Now, I'll tell you the big question tonight is, how are we going to beat Greg Lansman? And I think for me, the Republican Party should stand for two things. It should stand for dignified work and strong families. And work is about more than a paycheck. There's a lot of folks in here that have been working their whole life and they're still working. I'm still practicing dentistry as I run, and I've got a little one to put food on the table for as well. And I'll tell you, what I've learned in my practice is that work's about serving your community. It's about providing for your family. And that's what we need in Washington. We don't need another career politician. This is the area, Longworth Hall. I can remember long ago, at the turn of the last century, that was a hustle and bustle place. Up in Middletown, we had AK Steel. These were manufacturing jobs that allow folks that quintessential middle-class American dream. And they've been lost on us. What happened to them? Well, in 2001, with the World Trade Organization, we shipped our jobs to China. And what we did, we exported our manufacturing jobs and imported cheaper electronic goods. And that was the Faustian bargain, in my opinion. Now, 15, 20 years later, what we see is the remnants of people going towards opioids and drugs and other things because they can't find work. The disintegration of our community, and the left has perpetuated that, including Greg Lansman. So I would say that, look at family. Family is foundational. And that's what's most important to me is my work and my family. This is going to be an extension in Washington. I was blessed with a great opportunity to take over a family business and grow that business. But I think, to me, what you need is someone out there that's going to share your values. And we got to make sure that young folks can get ahead. They can afford to buy a home and live that American dream. It's really tough to raise 4 kids in a 1-bedroom apartment, and a lot of these kids want to get ahead. They want to work hard. They want to live that American dream. For you folks that are seniors that are on a fixed income, it's nearly impossible to afford your property taxes. There are a lot of issues that we can deal with if we have the right person in Washington representing us. Just the state of the race, we've got the most cash on hand. We've got 35 local endorsements and state level endorsements, including the Warren County GOP, which we're proud to have had, and then a fantastic grassroots effort, which is what it's going to take to beat Greg Lansman. I would love to have your support, and I appreciate you guys hearing my message tonight. Thank you. Thank you, George.